Anyhow, so I would like to talk about realistic reasons to go to the emergency room. Yesterday, I got super glue in my eye. I was trying to glue a child's toy together, and a drop of super glue splashed went right into my fucking eyeball. Had I not known better, I probably would have called 911. Instead, I knew it was just a dot. I knew it didn't hit me in my retina. I knew it hit the white of my eye. So what I did was I just rinsed and rinsed and rinsed, and I took a Q-tip and tried to pull everything, any debris towards the inner corner without scratching my eyeball. Don't rub, blah blah blah, because they're not going to do the right thing in the emergency room. I mean, now if my entire eyeball was covered, I know what they would do is eventually they would have you a tube hooked up so that it had like constant fluid draining for however long it took till all the super glue would be gone. All right, and having some kind of knowledge on how these procedures work is gonna help, okay? Like, if you've got a really bad cut, or you're like wounded or whatever, like if you're running a fever or you get a cough, I mean, you gotta be realistic. Like, what are they gonna do for you in the emergency room in that type of environment? You know, you have a kidney infection. Going to the emergency room, they're not going to do a whole lot for you. They're going to refer you to somebody else so that maybe they'll give you a cycle of antibiotics. I would say, from my personal experience, parsley or cilantro, that's going to knock it out faster than any antibiotics. Is 3 days, 4 days tops, and you will be completely cleared of it. I have yet to find somebody who's done it, and that has not worked. But yeah, fevers, super glue in the eye, that's another one. Something's like you got a dislocated finger, you know, you can have somebody help. But for me, that's not a reason to go to the emergency room. I'll relocate that bitch. I don't know. What are some things that are reasons that somebody might call 911 when they really shouldn't be doing that? You got a piece of glass stuck in your foot. Dig that motherfucker out. You got a boil on your ass. They're not gonna do anything for you. You think they're gonna go and they're gonna cut you and get all the shit out? Nope, they're not gonna do that. A lot of times they'll refer you to they're just like, I'm not a dermatologist. They don't specialize in skin. The only thing that they do at the emergency room is they specialize in like keeping you alive. And that's it. And if they can't, man, you're fucking ripe for the harvest. The organ harvest, that is. They're not, their only thing there to do is to keep you from dying, and if your issue is not life threatening, they don't fucking care. Even like Obamacare, there was a story where there was a woman who got into a car accident and had damaged one of her eyes really badly. And the insurance wouldn't cover it because they're like, well, you got two eyes. It's not like you're going to be completely blind. If it was both of her eyes, they would have done something. But in most cases, just because you feel like it's an emergency doesn't mean they're going to treat you as an emergency situation. And so, like the super glue in the eye thing, I just happened to come across something about it a couple weeks ago and was kind of curious. Like, how the fuck would somebody get super glue in their eye? And here I was, the one with super glue in my eye. That shit fucking hurt, man. I was so, and it was pretty intense. I was so disoriented up until this morning. I was, felt like my head was underwater. Like, I'm just now finally starting to feel like a normal person where both my eyes are the same size. Because they weren't. Like, this eye was just like, my one eyebrow was up, and I mean, it was crazy. And it was like my instinct to close my eye. I couldn't open the other eye, so I was literally blind for the entire evening last night. And it made me think about how most people would probably call the emergency room or call 911 and have them run out. But you gotta understand, unless it's actually life threatening, they're not gonna do shit for you. Like, you're just really putting yourself at risk at that point. And just having a good understanding of your body, how it works, and how different procedures work is going to be really important. I mean, in this day and age, with hospitals and doctors the way that they are, if you are not in a position where you're actively trying to find out ways to take control of your own health, by beginning with not eating garbage, you know, and I mean, it's not like everybody can just say, I'm never eating potato chips and cookies. I eat fucking potato chips and cookies. I am not perfect. Love potato chips and cookies. But the problem is if I buy potato chips and cookies, I will eat all the potato chips and all the cookies. So I try not to buy those things. And so when you're shopping, that's where you make the healthy choices, is when you're shopping and making sure that you're getting food. Don't get your meat from the fucking grocery store. Except the chicken. It's actually not a bad deal unless you have something better. Because the butcher shop, they charge ridiculous for chicken. And a lot of times it's the same chicken at the fucking grocery store. It's not any different. They may trim it differently, but they're all ultimately getting them from the same packing plants. There's a lot of laws around like the mass production of butchering animals, and there's only certain companies that are allowed to do it in the United States. When it is hunting season, having a member of your family who is into that kind of thing is really, really nice, because you're going to get micronutrients from venison or wild turkey or even wild boar, which you can only eat in the wintertime because they're fucking... Well, I think they're all full of taste. That's why you don't really... Hunting season is during the winter. It's not a summertime thing. Which we did not end up getting a deer, which I was pretty pissed off about. We're like, I'm gonna go hunting myself next time. So I think my husband just fell asleep in the fucking deer stand. Because he stayed up all night drinking with his daddy. Fucking deer walked right underneath that motherfucker. That's okay. Because I still got some venison out of it. But I didn't get a fucking refrigerator full like I wanted. I don't want their fucking head mounted on my wall. Just want their little cube steaks in my oven. If I'd like to raise chickens for meat. I think that would be awesome. My husband seems to think, oh, we wouldn't be able to do it. Man, bullshit. Fuck a chicken. I will eat that motherfucker. I tried to have a pet rabbit once. He came very close to being dinner. But I wouldn't do that to the kids. They would have been horrified. I wouldn't have. I mean, it mauled me like a fucking dog. Hate rabbits. They're fucking assholes. But yeah, unless you're like bleeding to death or on the brink of death, don't go to the fucking emergency room. If it's something you're capable of handling on your own, even if it's like doing stitches. Because I'll tell you what, if I get a bad enough cut, I got some lidocaine. Now, I wouldn't do that. Now, if the kids got a bad cut, I would take them to, if they've got insurance. I've got insurance too, really. I mean, but I'm still not just going to go to the emergency room because I don't like those motherfuckers. I hate them. Hate them so much. I would do anything before I go to the doctor. Like, I don't know. I hope I don't ever get cancer because I would just die of cancer. I would never do anything about it. I don't know. I would try and eat healthier. I don't know. I eat pretty healthy now. And I try and stay away from a lot of artificial shit. Speaking of which, I got my little setup over here for the holidays. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see if I can get it out. Like, woo. Got my little table, got the grill, and then this thing over here, I'm going to fill it up with a bunch of different herbs and shit. I'm going to cheat and go to Lowe's because I ain't got time to grow that shit. And then just get some other decorative plants because if I didn't have, if I didn't do the Easter ham and fucking get everybody together, nobody would do it. And I need the family to get together so that they can be a part of the kids' lives because they're so fucking self-centered. They wouldn't even know who the fuck they were if I didn't do shit like this. It's like bribe them with food to fucking come and see the kids that they're fucking related to. I'm telling you, the whole world's gone to hell in a handbasket, man. I went to the county fair the other day. I'm telling you what. The gene pool has been seriously compromised. I mean, really, 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 really bad. Like the movie from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like all these motherfuckers were built like they were just crazily built, like just the ugliest shaped bodies. And I felt like the children, they were either, other than my kids, and with the exception of a few, maybe 2 other children that I saw, and a couple of teenagers, but you could tell they were like wealthy kids. They were like a wealthy group of kids. They were either very visibly like autistic, or they were overweight, or they were dressing gay, or opposite of what they should be. I never, and I've been going to county fairs since I was a kid, and every time you go, well, really just the last couple times, I've kind of looked at it from a perspective of this is a slice of the population. And this last time, man, these people are fucked up with the amount of fluoride and atrazine and just the different chemicals from like Roundup and Monsanto, the pharmaceuticals that these people are given. Like, I mean, a lot of people with goiters, they probably just think they have a fat neck. Motherfuckers just walking around eating funnel cakes like alone with a fork. Like, I have a family of 5. We get 1 funnel cake and still throw like a third of that motherfucker away. Because nobody needs that much sugar. I don't know, man. The carnies looked more normal than these people. And then, and so seeing all this, it's like one of my thoughts was, out of The people that I saw, I bet 100% of them would have called 911 for getting a small drop of super glue on the white of their eye. They would have sat down and waited for somebody to come and save them and do it for them. You cannot sit around and wait for somebody to come and fucking save you. You know what I mean? I could take, well, I used to have a line of ants over here, but I could sit here and pretend I'm God and go, rapture, 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 and squish all those ants that I can see with my finger, and then be like, they're raptured, because they died really fast, and then poison the rest of the anthill and let them die slow. Everybody still dies in the end. Nobody's gonna fucking save you. Aunt Jesus isn't gonna come down and be like, let me say, I mean, this body is a vessel. It's not going with you later. This body is not a permanent thing. It was never meant to be a permanent thing. It is of this world. My mind is not my spirit. I'm not from here. I'm just in this body so I can fucking be here. And that's it. I don't know. It's kind of really all I got. Y'all have a good night.